Stu, I was talking to somebody recently about how I've set up to purchase a property recently, and I did it with PTY Limited with a unit trust off the back of it because I have got some external funding, which has come in from a good mate of mine. He's taken half of those units, and I've taken the other half. There's obviously a few kind of trusts. I've heard that there's family trusts, and what what are trusts and what's the right trust for the right situation.
Yeah. Just this concept of trust is an interesting one. Sometimes, to put things in layman's terms, for some people, we actually like to refer to them like a deceased estate. It's like assets go into an estate. Well, the family trust basically is a deed that comes into existence. Essentially, you've got discretionary trusts like family trust. If you typically have non-family members who want, or arm's length members who want to go into business together or hold property together, in that example, fixed trust or examples of unit trusts are a better example to hold those properties through. There are some rules around depreciation on properties. Won't go into that one today, but yeah, the main difference is discretionary trusts are traditionally used by a family. There are some really quirky rules around what a trust can do with relation to distributing income to family groups. If there's dividends with franking credits that come out to family members, or there's losses in those trusts and you want to offset and use those losses, trusts need to make what's called family trust elections.
Right. Is that a vote?
It's an election form. It's completed in the tax return. With the basics with this one, you choose what they call it as a test individual, which is a person who defines the family group. So if you're the test of individual in your trust, you can distribute to 2 levels up: brothers, sisters, and children, grandchildren.
Right. So 2 levels down as well.
Yeah. Companies where you're obviously a connected individual to those companies as well, to find your family group.
Okay. When you said companies, I've got to be related. So a director, shareholder, or company secretary.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So just a person with influence or control.
Yeah. One of the challenges with people running businesses through trusts is they start making some decent dollars. Unfortunately, trusts distribute profits out to the beneficiaries when you're maybe on salaries or you're getting trust distributions that are quite extensive. Personal tax rates, again, above 190K at 47 cents starts to add up a bit. Corporate beneficiaries or bucket companies are still being used. There's some members within my fraternity, accounting fraternity, that say, "Oh, just pay the tax." But the reality is, if there's a way in which you can defer paying tax, put assets or profits into companies, and continue to invest the profits there, that may be non-trading.
Yep.
It's a clever way, in my opinion, to continue to hold wealth in a company.
Yep. And what kind of company structures, or just structures in general, do high net worth individuals, families, or companies use? Why do the rich keep getting richer?
Yeah, great question. And this one's, again, I'll probably preface my answers here with, as in your circumstances, I always get advice. Some of the common ones we have, particularly where we've got a number of family members who've built that much wealth, they'll never spend it in their lifetime, right? Nice problem to have.
Yep, that's not me.
But typically a holding company might traditionally be a family trust, or potentially just a holding company in its own right, where it might be a holding company to other investment companies or business entities. Businesses obviously assume risk, so it's not traditionally wise to hold investment assets in companies because they're subject to creditors' claims, administration.
Well, when you say that, you mean the trading entity.
Yeah.
So you're saying.
Yeah, you're a business, you make good money, you want to go and buy some shares or a property, wherever your business premises.
Let's say you're a big trucking transport company.
Good example.
And obviously you've got customers which are paying invoices there, but so what would you do with your trucks?
Yeah. Vehicles you would tend to buy in your trading business traditionally. There are some industries, probably drilling is probably a better one, where there's probably greater risks. And you may hold a property or a equipment owning company as a leasing company, just purely for asset protection, where you might hold those, lease them to the trading business. Particularly if you're in an industry that's a little bit prone, a bit like the construction industry at the moment, to be exposed.
Cycles. Yep.
Yeah. So that's for, I suppose, equipment owning. Coming back to the wealthy and what they tend to do, you'll tend to maybe have run different businesses through different companies. So just don't keep adding to the pile, particularly when you go to sell a business or it doesn't pass on to children. There's an opportunity to sell off individual assets. People are also less concerned about some of the risks that comes with buying the structure versus buying the business.
Right.
You can offer warranties to someone buying the shares in a company, but and you obviously have insurance for a reason. But particularly larger consolidators tend to just tuck in businesses from time to time. So they like to buy the shares. They don't need to buy the business, which can trigger stamp duty or other costs. One of the quirky things about companies is particularly buying land, state-based as well. But if you are holding property in companies, for example, in WA, there's thresholds of $2 million. You can often change ownership, or you change ownership of the owners of those shares in the company without triggering stamp duty a second time if somebody gets out after a period of time.
So under 2 million or over 2
under
million?
2 million. So, and unit trust as well. So you mentioned an example before about the property. One person wants to sell down or get out altogether. There are some incentives.
So is it the transaction? So I own 50% of a company, a property which is worth 4 million. So that then, or let's call it 3.9. So 50% of that is obviously just under
total property value.
Total property
Total property value.
Okay,
Yeah, good
fine.
question.